Okay, we're live. Hello, it's Bill, the Knee Pain Guru. Today is Thursday, August 26, 2021. Today we're going to talk about arthritis with a cortisone shot and no, I can't walk that well. So we're going to address that here in just a moment. I'm going to get the specific email that was written on it up in here in just a second. If you have questions about your knees, your knee situation, whatever you have going on, put that in the comment section and we'll address that here in a little bit. And here we go with the questions. Okay, this was written in by Deborah. Let's see, 68. I'm 68, and just this summer, my right knee is very painful. It makes it hard for me to walk. Went to a doctor, and he said, you have arthritis. Gave me a cortisone shot. Felt different for 2 days, but now I cannot walk again without pain. In fact, it hurts all the time. I have tried different things, but nothing is making it better. Due to my walk, my left knee is also hurting. Is there no kind of microsurgery where they can go in and help the nerve not to be rubbed? I'm at a loss. Okay, this is a great question. In understanding the body on a surface level, let's talk what Deborah was saying. She's thinking of some sort of microsurgery to create space in the body. Now, it makes sense. It's like there's too much pressure on it. How can we go in there with a knife, a scalpel, or something and dig around it to make space so the nerve isn't being squeezed? But that's a surface level. That's a very fundamental, rudimentary, basic understanding if we think about how the body works. Unfortunately, what happens is doctors do those types of surgeries all the time and end up causing more inflammation, more issues because of the invasiveness of a surgery. That's just the nature of a surgery. We have to understand that that's the business model that the doctors are offering. So you can have pressure on a nerve, nerves are being squeezed, and we go in there to try to create the space around to get the pressure off of the nerve. But what ends up happening is the doctors can get in there and they can cut the nerve and cause more issues. You can have an infection because of the surgery. There's quite a laundry list of things that can happen as a result of surgeries like that. They do exist. However, if we go below that and understand what is happening when the body is squeezing on a nerve to protect itself, because that's what happens. Whenever we have accident, injury, surgery, trauma, the body squeezes, tenses up to protect itself. It happens when we're under stress. It happens when we don't eat right. It happens when we don't drink enough water. It happens when we're afraid. It happens when we have a surgery. It happens when we fall or get in some sort of pain. The body tenses up to protect itself. Normal, natural response to that experience. Well, what is happening? The body's tension, stress goes up. The body literally moves into a sympathetic nervous system state. That's the technical term of it. And what happens in a sympathetic nervous system state is blood pressure increases, heart rate increases, digestion decreases, blood pressure, the cortisol production, adrenaline, it all increases. The body goes into a fight or flight mode. Means there's less space for the nerves, which squeezes on the nerves. Now, the nerves are being squeezed, and Deborah's thinking is, which is very common within many people, well, let's go in and cut around this or do some sort of microsurgery to create the space. But it's still not addressing the neurological state the body is in as a result of the accident, the injury, the surgery, the trauma. If this makes sense, give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends, family, and loved ones, especially the ones that are limping. They're easy to spot. Okay, when we understand the body on a deeper level, we will begin to realize that what we need to do is reverse that neurological signal that's going on in the body, that neurological response, the body going from a parasympathetic, a rested and relaxed state, to a sympathetic. We need to reverse that. We need to go from a sympathetic to a parasympathetic. So we need to learn how to relax the body, de-stress it, allow the body to let go of the tension and stress and trauma and whatever's happened to it. And what ends up happening is when the body that's tense begins to relax, space automatically happens around that nerve. We don't need to do a cortisone shot to numb it. We don't need to do prescription drugs to try to numb it. We don't need an unnecessary surgery to try to create space around it. We don't need to go to physical therapy to try to push through the pain in the hopes that on the other side that the pain will go away. We can have the shortest distance between 2 points, which is you being in pain and you being out of pain, is creating comfort around the knee, around this specific spot on the knee. And that directed and focused creation of comfort changes the neurological signaling in the knee that allows the body to let go of the tension that it's holding on to, and the pain begins to be, the pain gets relieved. This is making sense. Give the video a thumbs up. If you have questions, ask them. I'm happy to answer them or explain what might not be clear. So, the microsurgery most likely will not be necessary. And even if you do have the microsurgery, it's not necessarily going to give you the results that you're looking for. This also goes back to the question of the cortisone shot. Why does it hurt after the cortisone shot? Why does it hurt more? And it was on a call this morning with a good friend of mine who's an osteopathic doctor. And he was telling me that when they do injections in the knee, there's a reason. There's generally a misalignment of the bones in the knee. An injection will expand, give a little bit of space in the joint for a short period of time. And when the cortisone shot wears off, which can happen pretty quickly because it's not addressing the tension pattern that's going on in the joint can reset. Like, you think of it like a tire that gets pumped up with air just a little bit, creates a little bit of space, you get relief like Deborah did for a couple of days. But when the joint deflates again, it's in a different spot and even more painful than it was before. That's why it's important when you're working with the from the medical perspective that you're looking at it also from a holistic perspective, because the doctors have a very narrow view on how to address the knee. They're not looking at the relationship of the femur, the bone in your upper leg, with the bones in your lower leg. They're not looking at the tension patterns that are going on in your feet or your hips or your lower back. We have to take this into consideration in conjunction with why your knee hurts. And how can we begin to change the neurological signaling that's going on in the knee to set up the conditions so the knee doesn't hurt? Okay. Everybody that was supposed to call me before didn't call then. Anyhow, if this is making sense, give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for future videos. If you want to know what you can do next, like how to begin to understand this better, how to begin to implement some things, all in the description of the video below. Right below this video, no matter whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, there's going to be instructions on action steps you can take. The first one of them is get on my newsletter list. That one's an easy one. That'll keep me in the forefront of your mind that you don't have to hurt to heal, that the body can let go of tension very easily, let go of pain very easily. You can increase the range of motion in the knee relatively easily as long as you're working with your body's ability to heal itself, your neurological capacity to let go of tension and stress, which is actually pretty simple and straightforward. Not necessarily easy, because it pushes us in a realm of beginning to understand how we feel and increase awareness as to what's going on in your knee joint and how your knee joint affects the rest of your body. Most of the time we spend ignoring these connections because, well, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to do it. And we've been told by the conventional medical model that these are your only options. So there's that. That's the newsletter list. We can set up a time for a consultation. That's the link right there, the appointment link. And we'll take in consideration everything that you have going on with your knee. If you got a X-ray, CT scan, MRI, your doctor's diagnosis, what you've tried before that has worked and hasn't worked, we'll kind of put that all together and map out a strategy for you to get out of pain. That's the consultation, the appointment link, and then Knee Club, which is my group coaching program. I work with clients twice per week in a Zoom call, and I point you to specific videos in my members area that'll help you get out of pain. And this is not like you have to wait. The videos that I give you will specifically begin giving you relief today, because where your knee hurts is giving me an indication of the specific neurological pattern that's going on in your knee that is causing the discomfort. So I have videos in my members area that will show you how to get the pressure off of those nerves. Okay, we got a question that came in. Let's see. Lisa writes, why does it hurt when you get up in the morning and stand on your knee? I'm doing therapy on my knee and the outside of the knee hurts. Then the IT band, I'm doing exercises at home too. Because you're not changing there's a neurological pattern that is going on that is irritating the nerves in a specific way. So let me use a car as an example. Driving down the road, you hit a telephone pole. It makes the frame of your vehicle crooked. So until you take that car to a body shop to straighten out the frame is still going to be crooked. So no matter how much you drive it, no matter how fast you drive it, no matter if you take the car and park it in a garage for a while, the moment you take that car back out and drive it again, you're still going to have the same pattern. So there is a pattern that is going on in your knee, in your body, in your knee, your legs, your hips, your lower back, all the way up from your head to your feet, that when you get up in the morning and stand on your knee, there is a pattern that's going on that's causing nerve irritation. So when we look at it through the lens of the nervous system, the tiny little nerves, the width of an eyelash, that go out through your entire body, that get squeezed and send a signal to your brain that you have pain, it's in a certain pattern that when you get up in the morning and stand on your knee, stand on your feet, it hurts. So no matter how much therapy you do, and I'm based on what you're saying, I would assume it is physical therapy, strengthening the muscles in the legs is like driving in the car more or driving the crooked car faster. The IT hurts on the outside of the IT band. I'm doing exercises at home too. Right. So it doesn't matter how much you exercise if you still have this dysfunctional neurological pattern going on in your knee, your leg, your hips, your lower back. That's what's going to happen. If this makes sense, give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications for future videos. And what you could do to take action from that, Lisa, you go down below this video, and once again, I have the link to set up, to head on over to my website to get on my newsletter list. There's the appointment link to schedule a consultation if you'd like to talk about it more in depth. And then there's also my group coaching program called Knee Club. So there is that. Okay, I have another question here. Okay, this was around knee stretches to relieve pain. There was an explanation I did last week. Should you be doing this exercise on a daily or just when you have discomfort? So I will share. Let's see. So this is the stretch.
There's really simple changes.
Hold on a second. I'll share my screen just a second here.
You have to start drinking more water. You wouldn't believe how dehydrated.
Screen.
Number 2, you need to make a decision to take matters into your own hands. That's not to say you should.
Okay, we're gonna skip this. This was the stretch. This was the 1 minute simple stretch. Janice is talking about. Let's see. So I'm demonstrating in this. Should you be doing this exercise on a daily or just when you have discomfort? It depends on your goal. Like if your goal is just to get out of pain, that's great. You could do it just when you have pain. But if your goal is more of sustainability, longevity of your joint, doing this on a regular basis is going to be more in line with what you're doing. This could be these type of, I refer to them as pain pattern interrupts in Knee Club. We could do that in replacement of a meditation, because when we take the pressure off of the nerves, you create this neurological signaling that's going on in your body that is very much like a relaxation you feel when you meditate for a long period of time. However, we're able to invoke this experience much quicker in the neurology as a result of the focused direction of creating the comfort in the knee or in other parts of the body. So there is that. I'll let that play for a minute while we go on to another question. This was an intermittent fasting question on intermittent fasting. Here, let me stop this. Whoop. Okay, I'll put the link for that video in the description after I'm done. After I'm done with the video, I'll add that link in the description of this. Another question came. This was regarding a video I did earlier this week, intermittent fasting, systemic inflammation, and knee pain. And this was from Vandella. How do you get your body to absorb water? If you were saying that it is not absorbing water, what is the process for that? The process is adding minerals to your diet, to your water, because there's a couple of mechanisms that are going on here. All diagnosis of arthritis is dehydrated joint. You can look on any doctor's diagnosis. Whenever there's arthritis, they will write in their dehydrated joint, which means the joint water isn't able to get into the joint. The joint squeezes. Goes back to what I was talking about with Deborah's situation with the cortisone shot. She wanted to create the space. So what happens is when the joint is in pain, when there's been an accident, an injury, a surgery, a trauma, the joint squeezes to protect itself. It feels threatened. It feels under duress. And what ends up happening is now we're like, oh, I got a dehydrated joint. Doctor diagnosed me having arthritis. I'll just drink more water. Cool. Drink more water, which is awesome. But what it not being taken into consideration is the neurological signaling that's causing the knee to squeeze and dehydrate the joint to begin with. So now you're drinking water. It's not getting into the joint, but what's happening is 5 minutes later, you're going to the bathroom. That's because there's a mechanism that if you flush out too many minerals in your body can't absorb the water that you're drinking. So it shuts off that mechanism of being able to absorb the water, because the situation would be worse if not. Think of leg cramping and a lot of other issues in your body, like your heart pumping, your blood moving around your body, take a higher priority than absorbing the water. So it's shutting off this mechanism to essentially keep you alive. So adding minerals into your diet, and I have a recipe for, here, I'll share this with you guys. This is on the Knee Pain Guru website. Let me bring it up here. I'll share my screen again. So you go, this is the Knee Pain Guru website. There is a recipe. It's called the Original Gatorade right here. And that will give you, this is not like the colored stuff that you would buy at the grocery store. This is the Original Gatorade, which is a recipe that involves a gallon of water, a tablespoon of Celtic sea salt, and 1 fresh squeezed lemon. And that's mixed together to create this Original Gatorade that will allow, when you are drinking water, your body to absorb the water. So now you're drinking the water that you need. Incorporating the Original Gatorade will allow your body to absorb the water and flush itself out better. So now you're being more effective with your water intake rather than just drinking water and running to the bathroom, and you're doing work, but it's not really helping your body the way it could. So that is the process that I was talking with Vandella, or the question that Vandella was asking in another YouTube video around intermittent fasting, systemic inflammation, and knee pain. So you can check that out, the Original Gatorade, on the Knee Pain Guru homepage. And make sure you sign up for the newsletter, and you can schedule an appointment or sign up for Knee Club as well. Because these elements that I'm talking about and a lot of people get stuck with their knee pain because it's like they're sitting in front of a chessboard and they're only making the first move. They're only increasing their water. They're only doing exercise. They're only taking this herb or this supplement. And what ends up happening is our body is very dynamic, that is changing moment by moment by moment. And if we're only taking this tiny step, it's not going to be enough to be in the flow of what our body needs. So we not only need to drink more water, we need to add the Original Gatorade to it, and we need to change the neurological signaling. And this literally, once you get it lined up, this only takes a couple of minutes. Once you have the pitcher of water, once you have the videos that I give you in Knee Club, then you put it together, and now the pain is relieved in your knee, and we need to watch when it comes back. Does it stay away for 10 minutes? Does it stay away for a couple of hours? What happens when it comes back? What are you doing when it comes back? Does it come back in the same place? Does it come back in the same way? So we need to use like this feedback. It's like biofeedback in your body that you're paying attention to, that allows me to guide and walk you through the process so you can get out of pain. But there's little things that I can give you, like the Original Gatorade, like to drinking more water, like changing your mindset to understand that surgery is not going to create the space that you want in your knee to get the pressure off of the nerves to stop the pain. That we can understand the body on a deeper level, that the body can let go of that tension. So we need to look at this in a dynamic way in time to see the patterns that your body is giving. Okay, we got a few people on the line here. If you have questions, please type those in the comments section. I'm happy to answer those. If you're watching the replay, type in your questions as well, because I get these and it's good for future videos. Subject for me to talk about, because when you type questions, it gives me an idea where you're at. It gives me an idea what I've already created over the past 13 years I could point you to look at, to begin getting help or results. And then it also, I can walk you through to the end of what you're currently doing is going to help you. It's only going to get you so far. Strengthening the muscles in the legs is only going to get you so far. Stretching the muscles in the legs are only going to get you so far. Your body's much more dynamic than that. It's like beyond. We have to talk about how the neurology shifts and changes, how water affects everything, how breathing affects how your knees feel, how nutrition affects how your knee feels, how your mindset affects how your knee feels, your emotions affect how your knee feels. Mobility, stretching, exercise, we have to look at all of that. And when we talk, I'm able to zero in, got over 2 decades of experience to be able to zero in on, well, what do you have going on that is causing the problem? Sometimes it's your viewpoint, your perspective on it that is putting you back into pain over and over again. Okay, got a question. Oh, Kim, are you able to help people who have already had knee replacement surgery? Yes. Yes. The dynamics will be different, meaning that the person who has had a knee replacement literally had the bones in their leg cut off and replaced with plastic and metal. So that's going to be a little bit different than a person who is not. There are different things to take into consideration, different areas of the knee, because you're not able to feel in the joint like you did before because the nerves are no longer there. But there's nerves in other places, how the doctors reattach things, how the knee was sewn back up, how those tension patterns that are no longer felt in the knee translate up and down that leg, translate to the other hip, translate down the other leg, translate into the upper body and neck. Those are the components that we need to look at. So yes, we can, there's actually a number of members in Knee Club who have already had knee replacement surgeries, but we have to manage our expectations. Like, one thing right off the bat is, once you have a knee replacement surgery, the knee will never get full flexion, meaning the heel to the butt. It won't happen because of how knee replacement joints are required to be built in order for them to work. A person won't squat much past toilet seat height. It's just a different dynamic, maybe a little bit lower. That's about it, which creates other issues in the hips. I've told this story about a friend who is a general practitioner, doctor in Southern Indiana, and she had both of her knees replaced. A couple years later, she had both of her hips replaced. A couple years after that, last time I spoke with her, she was getting her shoulders replaced. Because each time we don't have the experience of our physical body, everything it has to offer, the pain and the comfort that it has to offer, what ends up happening is the body is compensating in some way, shape, or form. So when we can no longer feel the discomfort in the knees because we've replaced the joint, that tension has to be transferred somewhere else. And something else begins to wear. So, Kimberly, thank you for sharing this. Once again, give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the Knee Pain Guru channel, turn on notifications for future videos. Share this video with your friends, family, and loved ones. You could tag them on Facebook. I see. What an idea. What a concept. If you have questions of your own, please feel free to ask those. The gist of it is there is a degree of personal responsibility that we got to show up with. Many people go to doctors and say, hey, take care of my knees. They hurt. I don't know what to do. Fix it. And that's okay. Like, I don't fault people for wanting that. However, the reality of it is that's still going to be there. That issue that you're trying to avoid, that issue that you don't want to deal with or look at, it's still going to be there on the other side of the surgery, of the drugs, prescription drugs, or unless you're self-medicating with alcohol or other drugs, that I have no judgment around it. The point of what I'm saying is when the drugs, the shots, the surgery, and when you're done with physical therapy, when all of that is over, your issues are still there. Whether you want to look at them or not, they will still be there. And what ends up happening is that knock of your knees gets louder and louder and louder until you address it. And if you don't address it, then it just gets louder and it gets into bigger issues. And what I'm proposing is that we can begin to address these issues in a way to change the neurological signaling in the body and empower you to know what to do at any one point in time to make yourself more comfortable, to learn what pain means, what comfort means. Because right now, pain, you just have like, well, it hurts or it hurts worse. And that isn't a good contrast, because when that means we're only looking for pain, we're not looking for comfort, we're not looking for relief. We're looking, when I'm talking about changing the neurological signaling, I'm talking about giving your body a difference from pain to relief. Oh, that feels good. Oh, wow. And if I hold it longer, it feels better. And, oh, it moved to another spot of my knee, or it moved up and down my leg. That's a different conversation than go to physical therapy, take the prescription drugs so you can make it through physical therapy, which I've literally had members of Knee Club tell me that. They had to take drugs just to make it through physical therapy, only to suffer for 3 or 4 days after physical therapy because of how much pain physical therapy put them through. That doesn't make sense on any level. And it's actually quite shocking. Okay, we got another question. Let's see. Graham. Hi, Bill. I'm interested in your original Gatorade recipe. Your product link to your recipe to distilled water is broken. It's distilled water. It's not you heat up water until it evaporates and what condenses is distilled. That may have been a Amazon link. I'll double check it, but maybe to a distiller, a tabletop distiller on Amazon or something like that. I thought distilled water was for car batteries, and it is for car batteries too, but that's because there's no minerals in it. Can you suggest a distilled water product that's safe to drink? I can't see it in my local supermarkets. You can do, a distiller. Well, I'm in North Carolina, so the concept of distilling things takes on a whole new meaning other than water. But you're essentially, let's see, I can give you a concept of it. And Graham, like, these are great questions to make sure. We'll have Knee Club later today. Graham is a member of Knee Club, and that, like, you should be getting the link sent out and received in your email for the Zoom calls. So this is all we can dig in deeper, but this is to give you an idea of a distiller. Let's see. Let me share my screen here. Share screen. Okay, here is a tabletop water distiller. And what happens is this is the water reservoir. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, it went. There it is. So that's the container that you pour the water into, and then this lid goes on top of that, and then it heats up. And there's a fan on the top of, let me see here. There's a fan at the very top of this that cools off these coils. So the water is heated up here, it's boiled, it goes into these coils, and then it drips out here. It's a very simple process of heating up water and condensing it. So that's left in here is like the residue from what's in the water. So technically you can do this on your stove. As long as there's a way to catch the water and condense it after it's turned to steam. That's really what you're doing. Truth be told, in a pinch, don't worry about it being distilled water. Mix the water with the lemon and the sea salt together and start drinking that down, or begin to use the sea salt on your food more, because that's what's happening is your body doesn't have enough minerals to be able to absorb the water that you're drinking. So don't get too caught up in the distilled water product or all of that. Begin to incorporate the sea salt, which will allow you to absorb the water that you're drinking. And you're going to see that because you won't be running to the bathroom right after you drink water. And there's a couple of signs that you can tell that your body is deficient in minerals. One is your legs will cramp. If you've ever had those cramps in the middle of the night, you move a certain way, all of a sudden it's like your calf tightens up and you're trying to get up to stretch your leg out. It's because the body is dehydrated and or needs minerals as well. So there's that component. You'll also have not wanting to drink water. Like, you'll be thirsty, but you don't feel like drinking water. And you don't feel like drinking water because your body is mineral deficient. And then if you do drink water, you're going to the bathroom a couple minutes later because the body can't hold on to the water that it's drinking. So hopefully that helps you there, Graham. Okay. I'm going to have to get scooting here. I'm going to be doing a podcast here shortly. But if you have questions, type those in the comments section. Even if you're watching the replay, make sure to share this video, give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the Knee Pain Guru YouTube channel. Let's see. Turn on notifications for future videos. You need more help and support, go in the description box below here. There is information on signing up for my newsletter, scheduling a consultation, and then joining Knee Club like Graham is in, which need you to show up on the call later today. And then we could dig in more. Because when everybody that joins Knee Club gets a template to begin to work with, which is people sign up all hours of the day. And that is what's going to help 999 out of 1,000 people. It gives you something to get you started, to start relieving your pain. And then the next call which is either on Mondays or Thursdays, the next call is where we dig in and tweak and adjust it, customize it, go over questions like Graham had regarding the original Gatorade. So what I would like to see from Graham is, like, how did the quick start guide work? Have you noticed relief? What did the pain move? Did the pain get changed? Did the pain get better? Did the pain get worse? I need to get an idea of that. Is there a part of the knee that the pain still exists? And then if the pain goes away, does it come back in a short period of time? Does it stay away for a while? All of this is going to give me an idea of how that works, what's going on in your body. I could share this with you. How about this? Okay, so we're going to go to, let me share the screen. I'm going to do this real quick, then I'll play a video for you to check out. Okay, share my screen, share screen. Okay, here we are. Okay, Knee Pain Guru. This is the home page. You can log into the get my newsletter right here, fill in that information here. Then here's the members tab, and those are for who have signed up for Knee Club. But when you're a member and you log in, and maybe I'm not a member. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is the quick start guide that I was talking about to everybody just a bit ago. There's a supplements list, and this is the Knee Club Clinic. This is where we do the majority of our work. And in the Knee Club Clinic, this is the section that we do a good portion of when I talk about changing the neurological signaling. So we have all these videos that, based on where your knee hurts, I'm going to point you to specific videos that you would work with in that area of your knee. And you could also see that we get outside of, like, this is for the wrist, that's for the thumb, some headaches, working with your sternum. So these are all different videos because the pain isn't isolated to your knee. Let's see. We got the neck here. We got the lower back. We got the hips, calf. Where we got stuff with the feet, toes, bottom of foot, foot arch pain. So we're dealing with a lot of different areas of the body. But we start with the knee as it creates the context for what we're working with, and then we branch out from there. Okay, we got a couple more questions here. Let's see. Graham. Lisa said, "This is Lisa. I did not tell you that my knee pain was caused by bone rubbing on bone, and my legerdemain was gone too. So the swelling going down, but it is the OU of the knee and the standing." Okay. Lisa, I'm not exactly sure what you were writing there. I try. Regardless, nerve irritation. Everybody's knee situation is special and unique. However, it goes down to nerve irritation that is the source of all pain, which causes the bone to rub on the bone. So the more we address that tension pattern and change the neurological signaling, the more relief you're going to get, because that's just how the body functions. You make it comfortable, it's going to relax. You make it comfortable, it's going to be less painful. You make it comfortable, you set up the conditions in the knee as well as in the rest of the body for it to begin to heal. Let's see. Graham writes, "Great, thanks. Yes, you'll see a Knee Club later on for sure." And Graham, I don't remember let me double check. If you sent the invite to the Facebook group, let me see if you're in there right now. Here, I'll share this with you so everybody knows what I'm looking at. Okay, here's the Neat Club Facebook group. And let me check on you, Graham. Okay, Graham, I'll check in there, but just make sure that you have sent that invitation to the Neat Club Facebook group. Okay, stop screen share. We got that, and you can go over to the Neat Club link. That'll take you to that's the page you could sign up on for Neat Club on. And then we got it today. Let's see, today's Thursday, August 26th. It's just shy of noon. So we'll be doing that at 5 p.m. today. Let's see, one more question here. Okay, Graham says, yes, I'm in the Neat Club Facebook group. Awesome. So Graham, if for whatever reason, if you can't make the calls, because we have them at times and we have people from Australia all the way to Europe, and so we're in there somewhere. And if you can't make the time for whatever reason, you're busy, you're tired, you're not feeling good, then you can type your questions in the Facebook group, and then I answer them on the next call. The calls are recorded, and you can just grab that information and implement that for homework to get you the relief. So, okay. I have to scoot. Oh, geez. I am going to play this video here for you. And I'll see you guys on the next one.